Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. John, you was the first one in here this morning, man. And you was up as late as I was, I know. Kenny, morning. Miss Lori, how is you? Let me see. Muppet, Anthony, good morning, you guys. Yes, John, I have your sunglasses. You left them in the fish room, and I put them on the kitchen table. Morning, Chris John. Y'all know how hard it is for me to get up this early? It's like, I didn't go to bed till 3. And then I got up at 6:30 for Father Fish. And then I had like one of those tele things. And for I had a doctor's appointment at 8, and it was through like the telephone. And so I did that real fast. It didn't take but a few minutes. And then and usually I was gonna go, I would have gone back to sleep, or I would have went back in the living room and watched and listened to Father Fish. It probably passed back out. But since I'm doing this stream now, I couldn't go back to sleep. That's okay. I'll take a nap later. I'm gonna visit with you guys, cause y'all is my fish fam. And Kenny, that was awesome last night. That phone thing was a blast. It was a hoot. That was fun. You know, when it came up on my phone, I had no clue what it was. I was like, why is Facebook calling me? Good morning, Fish Dreams. And then yeah, then I figured out that it was figured out what it was. Figured out it was y'all, and then people kept getting added and added and added. But I only think that it'll let like 6 people on the screen at one time. Because when I went out, and then came back in, it was only me and Jesse and Don, I think. I can't remember his name. Dang it. So, anyhow, I think today is Chubbs' birthday, you guys. I think. It just, it come up on Facebook. So if he has it on Facebook, the right date, then today is Chubbs' birthday. I'll just send him a text and see if he replies after I tell him happy birthday that it is or isn't his birthday. So we'll know one way or the other. Alright, Mary Paige. I'm going to, I did, because I haven't done that yet. Let me throw my link out there, you guys. There we go. All right, link is coming up. If anybody would like to join me this morning, that would be awesome. So I have been trying to breed my betas, and I was breeding my big ear platinum female to um, Gandalf, which Gandalf was my little guy, or not little guy, big guy. What did I just do? There we go. My big Dumbo butterfly that was grayish, real pretty, real pretty. Good morning.
Good
Look at
morning.
you. You finally made it on a stream.
I
You
did.
guys.
Finally.
And my friend, a biologist.
I try.
The one, yeah, you tried. The one that I've been trying to get up, but was supposed to be on the queen, the female guppy, but had some issues, so couldn't make it on with us. But you're here now.
I am here now. I had to
Yeah,
work. So
that happens. That happens. It happens. Thought I had your glasses on. That way you can see. You left them. Yeah, I know. I found them last night.
yeah, I was sitting there. I didn't realize it until I took Bree to school this morning, and it's like, why am I blind? Oh, that's right, no glasses.
I couldn't see the guppies good enough. You
No,
had to take them off and lay them down.
I did. Well, I think I got all of them culled out. So
I think so. I looked at them last night. Oh, and Gandalf did not make it.
didn't. I was afraid of that.
No, I was too. I mean, he was shredded. He was shredded. But I will move her and put her in that cylinder colander thing and put him in that tote like we were talking about last night.
Yeah,
And
I think I have some open bottom hurricane glasses here at the house. Let me. I'll have to go in the garage and look.
okay,
But I like to take a little pony bead, a little plastic bead like the kids put in their hair,
okay,
hot glue it to the bottom, and that way you have full flow underneath the hurricane glass still. So it's not, so your female or your male, whoever you're sequestering,
uh-huh,
isn't completely blocked off from all the water flow, which their water in the little jar doesn't foul up as fast.
right. Oh,
Makes
okay,
things easier, but they still can't get out of the bottom because that bead's not tall enough. So just, or you
cool.
can just put hot glue on the bottom just to raise it up, a few
Just
millimeters,
something.
something so the water can get underneath, but they can't get out.
Okay. I can find something.
Well, I just,
Uh
I just have the hurricane glasses that go over the lamps, the oil lamps that we have for when we have no power. Mhm. I think I've got like 10 or 20 of those glasses somewhere. I'll have to dig out there and find it through all my wife's stuff.
oh, but you can pass me some of them aquariums if you want them. Can't find a
Um,
place for them.
hmm. Let's see. What do I got left? I've got 3 10s, a 40, a 75, and 2 20s, all empty.
Empty. Yeah, well, I can fill them.
Well, the
But some,
75 is supposed to be. It's already like set up. Everything's ready for the turtles, but I just don't
yeah,
have any place to put it since the school shut us down with able to
right.
put them in the school. I can't put any animals at the school because of the corona stuff.
How much longer until you think that they'll open that part back up? Or we don't know because of stuff still going on.
Everything's still going on, so we just don't know. So I'll just
Huh.
keep the axolotls and turtles here at the house until then.
Yeah.
So
I would say we could put it in Landon's room because he wants an axolotl, and I don't think once he actually has one that he'll want it for long. But we could, I don't know, he'd probably like it for a little while. It
he
hatch
might.
quick.
I got Bree
It,
has one in her room, and the other one's here in the living room. So
yeah. And I gotta get like
yeah, we
I'm
went to bed at like 3,
three.
and I
Yeah.
woke up at 5:30 to get her ready and to school, and I haven't been back to sleep yet.
Yeah. I got up at 6:30, and then hadn't. I'll take a nap after the stream. I think Joe's supposed to be listening this morning. I put it on his phone He just left. He was headed to the deer lease.
Yeah.
So if he's not actually talking on the phone, then he's supposed to be listening in this morning. But
See what's up.
yeah, try
So we had a
to
good work
support
talk last
me.
night.
Huh?
So he and I had a good talk about work last night. So
Yeah, I don't know any of you deputies that don't get together and don't have a lot to talk about. Always something to talk about.
always, always.
And y'all know everybody. I mean, y'all know everybody.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's kind of our job. It's what we're supposed to do. We're
Yeah,
supposed to know everybody.
I guess. I guess. I don't know. Last night, after you left, Kenny called. He did it on Facebook through Messenger,
Hmm.
and on mine and Chubbs's, like we have a mod Messenger group for our stream on Monday nights, and Kenny is one of the mods, and he came up and he called. I guess a group phone call, a group video phone call. Anyway, he called everybody, so we were all on the phone like we would be up on StreamYard. And there were at least 10 of us at one point, but it would only show 6 of us on the screen at one time. And so I went out of it and then came back into it because I could still hear it on my phone. And when I came back into it, it was just me and Jesse, and I think Rob is his name. I know his face, but I can't remember his name right now.
Hmm.
Oh no, Kenny said that Tiffany did that. Okay, with All in Tanks. Okay, she's also a mod in our group. So, but yeah, so then it was fun because then we were like the Fish Fam and Fish Fam for life, and it was fun. It was fun. He dropped. He looked like he dropped the phone. Good morning, Dead Fred. Let's see, who else have I missed since I've been running my mouth? I said hi to Hatrick. Anthony. Man, I don't know where to go. I have to find my way through Facebook. It's you dropped the phone.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I could read the chat and do this at the same time. 'Cause I'm new to this one, but
Right.
I haven't figured it out yet. I ain't worried about it.
I don't. I don't remember either. It's just like I was just trying to tell Kenny. Not Kenny. Um, Anthony. Jeez, he was wanting to know how to change the icon. Your avatar icon on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
I don't remember. Alex, good morning, sir. Hey, Alex, come up.
See, none of my lights are on yet, so you can't see any of my fish. Nobody's awake.
That's okay. It's okay.
I have one tank up. Is there any way to switch the camera view?
Yes, you can. Okay. You have to hit the camera. Well, son of a gun. Hang on. I can figure it out again. But there is a way because I have to do it on mine. Let me pull it up on my phone. And I can tell you how to do it. Let's see. Let me post my link again. Alex,
There we go.
there you go. You figured it out. Alex, there's my link. This is oh, okay. Okay. Is that the sand one?
Yeah, the sandfall is full of snails and won't run right now, but hey.
Dadgummit. You gotta take it apart to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take it apart. It's literally completely full of snails. I have Malaysian trumpet snails for days.
I know. I need to come get some more or get some. Or you can just bring them to me on Tuesdays. Just keep
Well,
bringing them to me.
here's
I
the
will.
problem. My fingers are so big and
Yeah.
they are so small. I can't
Uh-huh.
feel them in between my fingers until I crush them.
Oh.
I can't pick them up.
I did that last night too. I was catching some of those mollies and moving them, and I smushed him in between the net. I felt
Wasn't
so
one of the
bad.
barred ones, was it? One of the new ones, one of the ones we.
Yes, it was.
That
I was
sucks.
trying to, and it was a male, and he was a smoky color. He was cool looking, and I damn sure did. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to catch him,
Yeah.
and I hit it up against the glass, and I didn't. I like it wasn't nasty looking or anything. I guess he just was enough to. I don't know. It was. I don't know. Anyway, that's a pretty tank. That is such a pretty tank.
It's dirty
Good
right
morning,
now.
Lindsay Fish on. Good morning. Good morning. Chewy, did you make it in here? You did. John, Chewy made it in here. That's the person you were asking me about the other day.
Ah, okay.
Chewy, this is my friend John, and he's a biologist. He's the one that, well, I'll get him on another technical show about guppies.
Yeah, I'll get rid of the glare.
Mm. Lindsay, good morning.
Let's say we'll get this situated.
Mary Page, if you would like to come up and sing on my show, you're more than welcome.
You see these bad boys right here?
Yeah?
I finally have a trio, and it came up. I have 3 females, 1 male, Goiter River rainbows. Very specific locality from Australia.
No, I want you. No, I don't want that. I want you up there on the big screen. How do I do that? Solo layout? There we go. Now I got you on the big screen.
I got a few males starting to color up.
What are those?
Goiter River rainbows.
Oh, rainbows.
I also have turquoises in here. There's my male just starting to get color to him.
The darker one?
Yeah, they're fast. They don't slow down for much.
That darker one back there is the male? There you go. That one right there? Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, is that one a teal one? Or is he just...
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
turquoise. And then
Okay.
this bigger variety right here is the Goiter River. There's a female, and my male is a bit smaller, but he's just starting to get color.
Okay. How long have you had those?
3 weeks.
Okay. Did you order them?
Yeah, I did have to order them. I couldn't find anything that specific. I wanted something really different to put in here because it's show tank.
Right.
So I just was looking for real different.
Right.
And that's what I ended up with. And then my wife loves the roseline sharks, also called the Denison barbs, which they are. I ended up with 2 pairs. I'm going to have to try to find some more females so these 2 males don't end up stressing each other to the max. As you see, they just continue to go.
Right. They just on and on and on and on.
And I also need to get a male. I don't know where she is. I have a female super red albino bristlenose in here, which I've sent you pictures of before.
Yes, I've been trying to get you a male when I go to those fish swaps. Well, when I went to that fish swap, I tried to get you a male, but I was too late.
Yeah, I just need a male to add in.
Right.
And I've got plenty of natural. I have so many natural caves in this rock work that I built. I want to just see if they'll breed naturally in a cave.
Dead Bread wants to know what kind of gourami is that with the colorful back, or is that even a gourami?
That one right there?
Yeah, I guess.
That's just a regular neon dwarf. And then I have one oddity that has this one right here. Actually, is the only fish I've ever seen with a mole. It's not a tumor. It literally, if you see in the reflection, it has a mole. It's got iridescent scales across the top of it, but it has a mole on its side.
Huh.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't. And then I do have the powder blue. With the 90 gallons, I have a big enough territory to have 3 male Gouramis and 3 territories and no fighting.
Yeah, Chew is dead on. He got it right. Regular dwarf Gourami.
Yep, it's a dwarf Gourami. Those are Mama's favorites, so she got 2 of them.
I hear you. They're pretty. They are pretty. I don't have a tank big enough for them. I don't need them. I need more. I need more guppies.
I say none of my the guppy tank in the back with the beta tank, that 2.5 planted, that tiny one that I built.
Mm-hmm.
The lights don't come on until 2 o'clock because everything's on timers. So when the lights come on, maybe I'll be on one evening when they're on, and we'll stream it from there.
Cool. Hey, Mary Page, I got you, girl. Talk to your family. Alex is in here, John, too. He came.
Good morning.
Yep. He's him and Alex came on the first one with me, and then the second one he came back on since you couldn't make it, and Father Fish. So he kind of helped fill your spots.
Yeah, I would have liked to have been able to come in and talk with everybody about genetics.
Our favorite fish, the guppy.
I say I do like the live bears, but I'm going to see how I do with these rainbows. I've got to make some spawning mops for them, but they're not quite mature enough to breed, so I got a little ways to go, probably 3 more months.
Yeah. They're pretty. They don't have enough finnage for me.
Yeah, they are a shorter fin, faster. So the only thing with longer fins in here is the angel.
Yeah.
And then I do have that's actually a female swordtail.
Okay. Wow. Look at this.
So
look at
I'm trying to get her to cross with pineapple male.
Right.
So I want her finnage on his colors.
Right. That would be pretty.
So her first spawn, she ate them all.
Dang.
Every last one of them. But
would you separate her, or do you leave her in there?
I left her in there. She was a virgin at the time, so I don't ever usually keep that first one off of a swordtail that big.
Okay.
First couple ones, they usually don't do well anyways, so I'm going to let her do, this will be her, she's pregnant again, and this will be her second. I'll pull her for this one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I don't have my light on my boys yet. Oh, there we go. Let's say Diego's not in here. I had something to tell Diego. Alex, he's coming on up. Yay! What's going on this morning?
Hello.
Good morning. Let's see. I changed that. There we go.
I look like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, you kind of do.
Let's say I'm a morning person sometimes, but I switched to the fish tank view because I am looking rough this morning.
I feel like I'm looking a little rough this morning too. I'm supposed to go mushroom hunting before this storm comes in, so but it looks pretty nice out right now actually for a storm coming.
Yeah. Is it a winter storm or just a
It's gonna be about 40, like somewhere between 35 and 40 degrees and raining. So no snow, but just that really
Nice,
cold,
nasty.
annoying, wet. Yeah.
Ugh, ugh.
Kind of, I'd rather have it snow. Like at
Yeah,
that point, it's just wet and soggy and miserable. So
right. You do one or the freaking other. So
I
that's
know, right?
great. Yeah.
And in Seattle, it usually never gets like crazy weather. Like, well, that's not true, but I mean, usually it's not really like crazy winds. We have had winds up to 150-mile-an-hour gusts, like during big storms. Like we get hurricane force winds, but it's rare. It's like every 5 to 10 years we'll get a big storm like that.
You get hurricane force winds. We just get a hurricane every other month.
I know, geez.
No doubt. No
You know,
doubt.
Seattle, it doesn't actually rain by volume that much. Everyone thinks it's like so rainy here, but
Yeah.
it rains more in Florida in a given location than it does in Seattle by double. Yeah,
Well, I
because
wonder
it.
why
Well,
you
we
got
just.
that.
Oh, it's overcast is why. I mean, there's just a lot of days where it's cloudy and like misting rain for half the day off and on.
Wow.
But it's okay. I kind of like it for a few months, and then you get sick of it, and then the sun feels like a big reward at the end.
Right.
That, and you don't feel guilty for not going outside. Like I feel like when it's nice out, you're like, oh man, I really should get this project done or get that done or ch-
You got an excuse.
chop that wood or fix the car or whatever it is. And like instead, when it's raining, you can just be like, I better sit and watch Netflix.
Or get on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah, honestly, or fish tanks.
Or yep. Yep. Well, yeah, I can. That's for sure. Because lately it's been really, really pretty here after all the hurricanes, and now walked outside. Of course, John's loving the weather. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't like cold weather, but I'll turn my heater
That's a
on
nice
quick.
that's a nice looking rockscape in that tank, John.
Thank you. It took me about 2 months to build it all.
Nice. Is it all attached to each other?
Yep, everything is glued.
Like a Gorilla Glue or epoxy, or what'd you use?
Actually, I used super glue and cotton.
Oh, like just like a cyanoacrylate based one?
Yep,
Oh,
cyanoacrylate and actually like cotton balls and cotton face pads, and I bought a bag of cigarette filters
yeah.
and picked them all apart, and it's all done together like that.
Wow. So how much glue did that take? Did you buy like a industrial size batch?
No, I actually just bought 4 of the large bottles of the Gorilla Glue brand
Oh,
liquid.
okay. Nice.
Because it's not like each seam is completely sealed across. It's just tacked. It's tacked at the seams where it touches.
That's better for biofilms and stuff anyways.
Yeah. I didn't. That, and on top of that is eventually I plan on moving out of this house at some point in life. So I want to be able to take it apart and put it back together.
Yeah.
That right there in the middle, Alex, is a sand fall, but the snails
That's cool.
have it
Blocked up.
Blocked up.
Did the Goiter Rivers do that? The Trifasciatus?
What, block up the sandfall?
Yeah.
No. It's the Malaysian trumpet snails.
Oh, okay, got it. Because those rainbows will sometimes they'll dig in the sand when they're in the frisky mood.
Yeah. That's do have a nice sand bed for them to dig. I have 3 females and a male of the Goiter Rivers.
And that's the Melanotania trifasciata ones, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know that the Goiter River, there's a couple rainbows in there, and most people refer to that one, but some people are really into rainbows.
The other rainbows that are in the Goiter River also are in other rivers.
Yeah, they're not endemic. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's, specifically to that location.
Yeah, it's a pretty fish. That one and the Melanotania alleni, or Chilotherania alleni. Those are my two favorite rainbows.
Yeah.
What you said.
You
I
can
like-
get them from Gary Lang on Aquabid sometimes, or just email him. And if he's not in a grumpy mood, he'll send like 25 eggs for $40 or something, you know.
Oh, you just get the eggs, you don't get the fish.
Yeah, he sends them in like an API test vial with like a little bit of methylene blue in it.
Wow.
Hatch them out yourself, nice and easy. They take 2 to 3 weeks to hatch out of the egg.
Yeah, and also like I don't know. I mean, they take a long time to grow out to adults, like 2 years, you know.
Yeah, they're slow.
Wow.
Like
So how long do they live?
10.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a long lived.
Yeah, they're a longer lived fish.
They go through 3 transitions. Like they have 3 stages, kind of like puberty. They've got one where they fill out like oval shaped and they start getting their secondary colors. And then they've got a third stage where their head gets like pointy on their body and they get that unique rainbow fish shape. And then they get another, sometimes it's a lateral line or sometimes it's stripes. It just depends on the type, but they kind of.
Did you see the Gourami that has the mole?
Yeah.
I've never seen a fish with a mole, but my fish has a mole.
I think it must be like it's got to be what do you call it? Melanin. Like it's got to be like just a big melanin pigmentation.
Yeah, that's all a mole really is, and with a fish, that's all it could be. Just a drop of melanin right there. But to be in a Gourami like that,
I wonder if you spawned it out, if it would have the genes that maybe it would produce some melanistic, like all black babies.
It's very possible, but I'm not breeding Gouramis. That's too much work.
Yeah, they're a pain and they eat their babies pretty badly unless you separate them.
I say with this one, I'm letting the rainbows grow out. I'm going to breed the rainbows in here. I'm breeding the swords, and I'll pull females on that one.
Are those tequila sunset or something like that, or what type of swords are those?
Hawaiian pineapple.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Green top, orange base, and then I have one brick, just solid orange, but she's the trident tail.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm just trying to pass her finnage on to the pineapple because my male is pineapple as well, wherever he went.
Cool.
There he is.
I've got some swords and they just never have babies, like hardly ever.
Well, they'll say they breed a lot slower than guppies and mollies. So
yeah, the wild varieties have like 50 babies, you know, like they have a lot and they get huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the females will get 6 or 8 inches long.
Yeah, like the blue sailfin, those ones are really cool. I mean, it's a slightly different fish, but the ones that are native to like Florida and Texas.
Yeah, they get a lot bigger too.
Yeah, they're really cool though. They're Seagrass just started carrying those to sell to like PetSmart and all the big stores. They're starting to carry quite a few rainbow fish now at like Petco and PetSmart, I've noticed.
Yeah, I must say they have I was talking to Ryan at our local Petco here, and he was, he asked me about a bazillion questions when I go in, which is awesome because he's like enthusiastic to learn what I have to say.
That's good that he cares. Most people at the Petcos around here are like, it's a fish. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Okay. Great.
It just drives me sometimes because they'll start saying stuff like someone will ask a question and I'll be there or whatever buying, cat food or fish food or something, or just sometimes I just go to the fish room and just look and see how they're doing or what's up.
Sure.
And they'll be giving like misinformation and I'm like, oh, please stop. No.
Oh,
and my wife will be like squeezing my arm. Do not correct them. Do not correct them. I typically can't. I have to correct them.
My wife won't even go to the pet store with me anymore because of that. Like, she's just like, you're just going to get into either you guys are gonna nerd out or you're gonna freak out, one or the other.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Who are you talking about, John?
Hmm? Who
Who are
am I
you
talking about?
about?
I can't go.
Yeah.
Which Ryan at Petco?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ryan,
That's who it is.
he's always got his hair's always fixed up real nice. Got a beard. I just know his first name's Ryan. I think he's the
Okay.
supervisor over the fish room over there at Petco on Uri Drive.
Is he the one that went and goes and gets the mollies, the native mollies out of the drains?
Very possibly him.
I was talking to somebody that was doing that.
I have something to show. Wait, what kind of biologist are you, John?
I studied marine biology, vertebrate zoology, and minored in genetics.
Oh my God. Okay, I got a question for you.
See, I knew.
And now, what do I do for a living? I'm a police officer.
Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna ask that question then. Never mind.
You can ask away.
I was gonna say, how much cocaine can my Gourami do? No.
Probably about 4 lines before they tweak out.
Yeah. No. Let's see here. Let me turn my lights on in my fish room.
Let's say this early in the morning, I was not going to readjust my timers to do my other.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'm like so not high tech in my fish room as far as that stuff goes. Hold on one sec.
I've got Lowe's lights on top of my fish tanks.
Yeah, that works. So I've got these tetras. Hold on, let me zoom in with some, or let me scare them to the front with something. So I got these tetras that are like 3 or 4 years old now, and they're a orange-eyed lemon tetra. Come on, come to the front. Why are y'all so shy? Come on. Maybe I'll just come to them. Oh no. So this one who's freaking out, his swim bladder's all messed up.
Yeah, you just woke him up. Give him a second. He's not a morning person either.
Right.
Good morning, Kenny. Good morning.
Well, so what's been going on is that in these guys who they're at near their end as far as age goes. I think they're about 5 now. I noticed they're a translucent fish, but they have these black plaques that form along their spine and radiate out. Like they take years to grow, but they're like black. It looks like, I mean, at first I thought maybe it's a worm or some sort of growth or something, or maybe it's a cancer. But they seem to all get it eventually, and it's not consistent whatsoever. I'm trying to find one that'll hold still to show it off. Boy, this guy's having some trouble.
You might need to trim some plants.
I know.
You can send the trimmings my way.
So right here, you see like his tail, those dark spots?
Yeah.
And like up here on the top of his back. Boy,
he's dorsal. He's got them too. Right there.
Yeah, as he's gotten older, they just spread, and a lot of times they'll start along the lateral line on this species, and they radiate out almost like in little thin wispy lines, like a nerve or something.
More than likely, being where all that is in the age of the fish, I would associate it to the same thing as a dog's face turning white or my hair turning gray.
Oh, okay.
So not much different. Pretty much everything as it ages, things fade out and change out, but fish and stuff typically will get a little darker.
Chewy's up here. We got Kenny and Chewy now too. Chewbacca. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, Chewy?
Oh, I'm trying to wake up now. I'm not a morning person at all.
None of us are. Well, I guess Kentney might be, but we were all up late last night.
Well, I'm a
Yeah, I
morning
haven't
person
been
if I'm
to
up
yet.
from the night before.
Yeah.
What were you guys all on last night, Jess?
I don't know anybody that was on YouTube late. I just was up late.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know who streams after Punchy Paints.
Nobody.
I don't think anybody does
Nobody on a regular basis.
Yeah, on that night. So
And YouTube was out for at least 2 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
before Dan's stream.
oh, I
Can
It,
y'all
felt
see
bad
my?
for
it was a
Alzheimer's, too.
server adjustment. They just shut everybody off and made a server adjustment for 2 hours
Well,
at that time of day.
It would have been nice. Did they send out a notification or anything?
No.
They notified people on Instagram about 10 minutes before they did it,
Oh, how nice of them.
or Twitter. I can't remember which.
Can you guys see these fish?
Yep, here.
I can.
Let me- Which yours? Let's see. There we go.
So these are those new apistos I got from Jason.
What kind of? I was gonna say what?
They are they're called Apisto Banshees or Inca 50s. Apisto 188 is their designation. And these ones are still a little young, but they're one of the smallest apistos. They only get 1.5 to 2 inches long. But they're mean. They attack their own reflection. I tried to pick one that I thought was going to be male and one that I thought was going to be female, but they look so similar. It's really hard to tell at this age. But
those two fight each other?
They did in the bag, but they've been hanging pretty tight together and not really fighting each other. I put them in this tank, and this tank has like 1 million shrimp if you look around.
Jess,
Like-
that's what you need to eat your scuds.
And
I was
so-
waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, they would love your scuds.
I have got a tank, y'all, that is
Oh, we just ate a shrimp.
Overrun with scuds.
These guys would make quick work, or a pea puffer or something. But these guys, I mean, they're hunting like right now. He's gonna try to eat these ones.
Up there?
Yeah, and same. He just ate one right down here.
Wow. Oh.
They're eating my shrimp at such a quick rate. I mean, these are malawas, so malawa shrimp reproduce really quick. They're kind of like ghost shrimp,
Okay.
but I'd rather have these guys get big and those malawas get eaten.
Right.
So I'm okay with them doing that. But man, this swordtail's
Come here, baby.
What's up with him?
or platy, I guess. Oh, I just turned the lights on, so he's just like
Oh.
shell shocked. Whereas these guys are just like up and ready to kill the second the lights on.
Is that a?
Cherry snakeskins do that. They take forever to wake up.
This guy is a Kohaku platy.
Is that a platy or a swordtail?
It's a platy.
Nice.
He's a little platy. There's another one back there too.
I've got some wild colored variatus. I've got 3 females, but they're in a turtle tank, so they're gonna get eaten anyways.
Oh yeah. And then I've got endlers in here. This is actually a low pH endler tank. I've been working for 5 years to get them to live in like 6.0 and thrive.
Hey Jess, you remember me telling you I went to New Orleans to pick up
Wait, what?
a snow bangle?
Oh, cool. I have a Bengal. I love them.
Is that the cat behind you?
Yeah, she just took off behind me, and I have I've got the snow bangle, I've got an American ragdoll, and then I have a Persian with parachromia. She had 1 solid white, 1 green eye, 1 blue eye.
Oh, cool. She's not a chimera, is she?
No, she just has parachromia. If she was a chimera, I would wear. She wouldn't be deaf, but she's deaf in the ear with the blue-eyed side. She's deaf on that side.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Since you went to Redfish, Bluefish.
Uh-huh.
And Chewy is in here. Chewy.
Yes.
Do Ask Alex the name of that guppy that you want me to get. If he's got it. I don't remember
Oh,
the name of it.
oh, the iron topaz.
Yes.
Yeah, the iron topaz. I almost bought some of those too.
He
They're
has
gonna be
one?
$35 a pair, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
$35 a pair.
Yeah.
And on eBay, they're selling for $50 a pair.
Yeah. He just got them in the country. Like, they're beautiful.
No, I know exactly how he got them.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
I need to get two.
he got them
two
off
pair
of an
them.
International Guppy Exhibition and Education Society breeder.
Oh.
So is
'Cause
that
I know he
anybody can buy them? Anybody can buy them?
Not yet, but I mean, like, whenever his website's live or whenever anybody, if you're in the area, he'll open up the shop right now for you to buy anything. But only if you can make it to the actual shop.
Is
But
he gonna ship, Alex?
oh yeah, it's just been taking a little longer. Like, I went up there to take a bunch of pictures for his website.
Okay. I need
So
2 of those pairs held for me until he can ship.
he can't hold any. He's got like 100 emails literally about the guppies.
When are you going back?
Next week. Actually, it may be before he goes live. So I will be getting a pair of those at some point, definitely. Those, and I used to have those the blue Hawaiian Moscows too that Bentley breeds.
You may find this interesting, Alex.
Yeah.
They are a cross between a Hawaiian blue Moscow and a magenta.
The Luke Roebuck
type was developed by Philip Shattuck.
Wait, are you talking about Bentleys?
No, I am talking about the strain that Philip Shattuck developed as a phenotype. That crossed with Hawaiian blue Moscows, which were originally imported by Philip, who gave them to Luke Roebuck.
Oh, okay.
Okay, out of Asia.
So the ones Bentley has then are not true Hawaiian blues.
No, they are true Hawaiian blues.
But they're crossed with magentas?
The Starfire, or whatever you want to call it, is the opposite phenotype to the fish that I had. I had the recessive gene, and he has the dominant gene.
Oh, okay, got it.
You can see it in the body of the Starfire. You see the blue masking metal of the blue Hawaiian, and the red tail comes off of the Silverado.
Yeah.
Okay, which was developed by Philip Shattuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and that's the cross. The other side of the cross is a light blue with a blue tail. light blue body with a blue tail. And it was called a powder blue magenta.
Okay. What year was that?
Oh, it's got to be 11 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was even older than that. I know Luke Roebuck started some of that stuff, some of his lines like in the 90s, early 90s.
Well, the red, the full red is actually Ed Chiason's full red.
Ah.
Out of the IFGA. I was a very good friend of Luke Roebuck's.
Oh, okay, cool.
He used to listen to my hard rock radio show.
Hard rock radio show. What does that entail?
Metal music.
Oh, okay. Like what genre though, or what era I should say?
Anywhere from the 80s all the way up to 2000 and about 15.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's what I ended up doing. I wanted to be a marine biologist, but you can't get a scuba ticket when you suffer from seizures.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Hey, is that one of those long fin tetras there?
Yeah, I bought 3 of them off of him for $15. I
Real
mean,
cool
each
looking.
15 each. So I'm
Have you ever
What'd I
seen
do?
the see-through guppy, Alex?
I think he accidentally hit the exit button.
Hang on.
Yeah, he hit
Okay.
the exit.
Okay, I did it. I was trying to put him back on big screen. Oops. Shit. I
Did
did
you
it
get a
again.
look at any of those laser reds that he had there, Alex? Hello.
Did I? I might have done something. No. Shit.
Bye, Alex. We'll miss
Right?
you.
Wait. Somebody. Oh my gosh.
He's showing on here. I just don't think he's there.
I know. There's somebody else down here too. Maybe he came. No, he came back down here, but I can't pull him up. So I'm gonna kick this one. I'm gonna kick this one out, and then pull this one up.
There we go.
Are you there now? Okay.
There we
I'm
are.
so sorry.
You're a monster.
Have you ever heard of the see-through guppy, Alex?
Yeah, the glass guppies.
Don't call them glass.
I like calling them glass.
Because there is a glass belly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen them for genetic, like for medical research. I've seen them, but I haven't actually seen them
Who
in the.
developed that strain?
I have no idea.
Philip Shattuck.
Oh, okay.
Philip Shattuck wrote several books on guppy genetics.
Do you know if he figured out like which colors supersede which other colors as like primary body pigmentations?
Yes, it's called the color wheel.
I picked up some of those.
Oh, the
Where-
lichen.
There you go.
Nice.
Where can you find that info?
I say,
Chewy?
where can you find
Good
that
morning,
publishing
Dan.
work?
Philip published his own books. All of them are out of print.
Great.
He able to find a few people with PDFs around. You might be able to find somebody who might want to sell a copy, but they're going to be expensive.
I know that the University of British Columbia did it for endlers and their markings, but I haven't seen anything for like hobbyist fish. So I'd really like to see somebody bring that back to the hobby, if it's out of print. I love these little Incas, though.
He's the publisher and he's the one that controls the rights.
Yeah.
So there's no way that book is going to be published unless he wants it done.
Why would
And
he
he
want
left
it
the
to be?
hobby because he got tired of the bureaucracy.
Well, I mean, but it wouldn't be proprietary to know what genes are dominant, though, right? It would just be how he presented it that would be proprietary.
His was actually researched by a genetic scientist. I forget the guy's name right now, but all of his work was isolated, heavily isolated.
Good morning,
There
Aquatic
was
Conquest.
no colony breeding or that type of thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
So lots of little tanks.
Tons of little tanks.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the Japanese guy who invented the Japanese blue endler or blue guppy.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. And he also was involved in the rubra guppy. And another great guy that understands genetics in the guppy field is Alan Bias from the IFGA.
Yeah. I know that Japanese guy also worked on the lace pattern too.
Where'd Kenny go?
There's the Inca. I was like, where'd the little Inca go? These guys are so
Joseph.
pretty.
Hey, Joseph Normand. Y'all, my husband is actually in chat.
Ah.
Is he
Checking
doing
up on
anything
you.
this morning?
Do what?
Ask him if he's seen anything this morning.
Oh, he can hear you. I think he was going up there to put corn in the thing.
No.
Oh, you guys looking for deer?
Yeah,
Heck
he's
yeah.
going up to the lease to put corn in the feeder.
You guys have a stand or something?
Yeah, they've got a lease up in it'd be South Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so him and my son and my father-in-law are all in that lease, and they've gotten a bunch of deer off that lease.
You'd laugh at when I went out to Jason's. Literally, there were probably 40 deer I saw.
Aw.
I mean,
like
they're
to
just
watch 'em.
everywhere on Whidbey Island because you can't hunt them.
Whidbey Island.
Oh,
That's
really?
where my mother-in-law's from.
Oh yeah, it's a
Small
weird
little-
place. It's like a hippie, an artist colony, and then there's also neo-Nazi compound was there in the 70s too. So there's like far ends of the spectrum there. There was a big
Okay.
shootout with the FBI and some Aryan Nation people in the 70s. So they
My
still like,
mother-in-law would land somewhere like right smack dab in the middle of the hippie end. of that
yeah,
country.
yeah.
Dead Fred, he said, wait, Jess and Joe? Oh, that's too cute. What happened, Kenny? I didn't
Do you guys as cops have to stop kids? Do you guys as cops have to stop kids from picking mushrooms in the cow pastures?
No, if they'll eat off of shit, I got bigger problems than what I want to deal with.
Oh, he froze.
Yeah. So if you want to go pick, if you want to go pick mushrooms off of cow crap, I mean, and you're willing to like eat it or drink it or whatever. I mean,
well, you're a biologist. You know that it sanitizes it. Actually, I mean that they biologically they sterilize it.
Well, it's the whole mental thing about putting shit in your mouth.
Right.
The sterility of it is not the issue. It's the fact that it's poop.
Right.
In your mouth.
Luckily, up here we don't have that kind. Really? Come on now. Technical difficulties.
Are you familiar with Doug Gray, Alex?
I know the name.
He's an IFGA breeder, and he's got quite a few of Philip's books as well.
Oh, okay.
And that's how he's interested in Asian genes.
I am a libertarian when it comes to education, and I believe that I should disseminate all things that I have learned myself. I understand other people have proprietary information, but like my channel is all about trying to get as much information out as possible to whoever wants to learn, you know? And so I understand the politics of years of studying and all that hard work, but I think it's cool when people share, you know, what they've come up with.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Alex. If I've learned it and I know it, the whole world needs to go ahead and know it too, because that's how information gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that there's 3 genes that are recessive, not just the glass body, but there are 3 genes that are recessive that make up the see-through guppy. And when you use the term of just one gene, people will automatically just think of glass belly guppies.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, so is that a blonde gene also?
It is basically a
melon
to blonde.
So I'm guessing it's blonde, it's the clear, and it's the melanin one.
No, the
No?
melanin one still exists in some form.
Oh.
Over mass. Albino is what takes out melanin, which means red-eyed. It's more leucistic, shall we say, rather than albino.
Okay.
So it's more
All
like
right.
a leucistic type form of melanin loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, it's over my head.
Well, so that's like when you look at a corn snake that doesn't have red eyes, but well, it could have red eyes, but usually doesn't. It's just missing the dark pigments. It has the yellows and the oranges and the reds and whites.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And recessive.
Yeah, and a lot of like
most
like
of
a
the time
blue
you
eye.
have to have. Most of the time, that gene has to be carried by both parents
Mm-hmm.
in order to do it because it is recessive and it has to show. Same thing I do with my ball pythons. If I want to get a leucistic, I mean, there's 3 different genes that I could cross out to get a leucistic ball python with. That's the other thing that I play with and breed besides fish.
Snakes are awesome. Like for genes, they're so like predictable, which is great. You know what I mean? Like
oh, exactly. It makes my life very easy with the predictability of dominance, co-dominance, incompletes, and what I can do to what to mask other colors and create different patterns. I've been doing that. I've been doing it with ball pythons for 23 years.
Oh wow,
so
that's cool. My wife will let me have snakes.
To aquaballs.
What's going on there, Kevin?
Morning, Kev.
Not much, man. I'm getting some pistos.
Yeah, what kind?
Triple reds.
Nice. Cockatoides?
That's what Jess, I think you need to get some cockatoides, girl. Some nice plains, triple or something.
I'm getting mine from Jesse. From HC Aqua.
Well, I ought to get those from Jesse and then go ahead and get those magentas from Jesse as well.
I was thinking about getting those black rams off of Jesse too.
Did the black rams throw that blue?
Yep.
They throw gold too.
Yeah, they throw both. He said they're not very predictable at all, but
they're not predictable. And so far, everything I've seen about the rams, the blues and the electric blues are the hardiest of it. But something about going all black is doing something to their hardiness, and they're having a lot of liver failure issues.
A lot of small batches too.
Yeah, real small batches, and some of the batches are coming out completely sterile. So you buy a pair, but you don't end up with babies because they're sterile.
Yeah, he's doing them pretty cheap, and his have the orange fins still, so they're not true black rams. But there's
the orange fin on the black because I think it looks better. But
I do too. Yeah, the other ones that are really cool are the Batman ones. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
I haven't seen those.
They're like bright canary yellow with black, with like a dark black. And Germany has them. I haven't seen them in the States yet. I've only seen them online in Czech Republic and Germany.
Where they develop a lot of fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Asians and the Germans are far ahead of America.
Yeah.
Far ahead.
Well, they actually have like millions of dollars on the line too, like that people will pay for lines when they're new, like in a luxury market there. You know, same with Asia. Like people will pay 10 grand for a fish for a flower horn or whatever. It doesn't really happen much in the US.
$200,000 for an Asian arowana.
Yeah.
Joe Norman, are you hearing this? This is how much people do spend on fish. It's for real.
Well, I mean,
the world
it used to be
record's
that
1.4 million.
way in the States too, because I do remember a certain somebody who happens to be in this chat who bred some of the first OB Alanacara hybrid crosses out, and I sold them to the Shed Aquarium in 1994 for several $1,000s a piece.
Wow.
I was young and dumb and still, in college and working on it. And it's like, I thought I was the coolest thing ever. And I didn't realize I needed to patent anything and all that for the lines and the hybridation. Now you can buy them at Petco for like $6 a piece. And it really pisses me off.
I remember that story now.
Well, that's how that goes though. You know what I mean? Is what are you going to do about genes? Like guppies, Yeah, you might pay $500 for the first pair of something, but I mean, or a few thousand, but
Well,
like
to get
what?
the
30
Alana
days
carrier to
later,
go
you get
OB,
100.
to get the Alana carrier to go OB, I had to hybridize between 4 different species. So, which was questionable at the time, but for the pet trade, which is all I was really interested in, I wasn't trying to keep a true strain, just like they don't with a flower horn. I
Mhm.
didn't keep my
Where can he go?
I didn't keep my mixture of what I bred to get it a secret. I kind of let it go with the fish, and now you can get them anywhere.
You've let yourself go, sir.
Right. Do you think
What?
4 pistos would be sufficient? 1 male and 3 females?
More than.
Yeah.
What made you decide to get a pistos, Kev?
You want to see some baby
I
endlers?
need something to feed my call endler. I need something to feed my calls too.
Okay.
I got turtles for that.
Yeah, I got John's turtles for that.
I don't think
I don't
that
have turtles.
would be very good for calls of endlers because the endlers will be bigger than their mouths by the time that you figure out to call them.
It's true.
Get that, Kev?
You need a bigger
Well,
fish
I don't know.
calls to
I like them. I like them in general. Like when I was gonna get back into the hobby, of pistos were what I was gonna get in the beginning, but they were like super expensive, and now I have an opportunity to get them at a decent, reasonable price.
Yeah.
And I have this 30-gallon cube tank that I just think that they would look amazing in.
Usually, like the triple red, the cockatoides, you can get those for like $5 a fish if someone has a bunch of babies. Hold on, my wife's sleeping. I love you, honey.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good day, baby. You gonna come home at the normal time? Okay.
Oh, that's
You okay?
so sweet.
Honey. You okay? Yeah. Honey.
Jess,
Yeah.
the mollies that I got from you, the mollies that I took from you,
Yeah.
when I put them in the turtle tank, they lasted all of about 15 seconds. Gone.
Wow.
Turtles are wonderful, man.
Do what?
Turtles are wonderful. I love turtles, man. Not too big on snakes.
No, I'm not a snake person either.
I am. I love my snakes.
What
I like
you find interesting, John, is do you know Britney Spears? Do you know that snake that was with Britney Spears and Alice Cooper that you would see photographs of on the internet?
Oh yeah, Bob the snake. No,
I don't know.
That snake belongs to a friend of mine who's an artist in the music industry.
Oh.
Hey, color guppies,
When,
welcome to the party.
When Nicolas Cage was here in Shreveport filming movies, when we had the big movie news, I took care of his snakes for him
Really?
with Randy at Critter Company.
He probably had
Awesome.
like what, 1 million of them, and he just like decided to blow money on.
Pretty much. He had several Colombian red tails. One of them was a wild caught, and she was freaking evil.
I believe that.
She was about 6 foot long when they brought her in, and she was almost 14 foot long when I finally put her back through.
Wow.
She was, but she had attitude issues from the.
Because
I
she's
could
from
get
the
her out,
wild?
but she was wild caught.
John, how do you feel about the efficacy of storing snakes like in a box? You know how like a lot of breeders just put them in like Tupperware racks. Like, do you think that's mean, or do you think they don't care? Like that's a snake.
Like Aquaballs has his.
Yeah.
Minor in racks. So, I mean, it's a snake. In nature, it lives its entire life down a rat hole on the African plains in the savannah. So it literally lives in a rat hole and hunts rats in a rat hole. So it's pretty content. But they do have personalities. They do have individual personalities. And I have one. I might go get him here in a minute if I put the phone down because I had to charge it. He's a orange dream inchy albino, and he has abandonment issues. He's the only snake of all my snakes I've ever had. If I go in the snake room, he's gonna knock his coils against the side of the tank until I get him out. Because if he smells me in the room, like if I go in there to change the laundry, do anything, he's gonna make noise and he's gonna cause a ruckus until I go get him out.
Oh wow.
So, and I can sit there and I'll just
Wow.
put him around my neck and he'll sit on my head while I could go mow the lawn. I could do the dishes. He wouldn't care. He just wants to sit on my head. So that's pretty much just what I let him do.
Sounds good.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, my phone's gonna die, but it's
go
been
get him
nice
and let him sit on your head.
meeting you, John, chatting with Chewy, Kev. Thanks for having me up, Jess. My phone's
Hey,
gonna
thanks,
cut
Alex.
out here
I
in a
always
minute.
appreciate it, man. It's always fun having you up.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling people in the mornings and on my channel, letting them know that you're doing this morning thing for a while. So
Oh, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
I think tonight I'm gonna read one of the another one of the old magazines that I got that guy sent me. It's a
Yeah.
1964, the March edition of the second edition of Tropical Fish Hobbyist. So, I mean, I know that's super nerdy and boring, but I'm gonna probably flip through it live just so people can see it if they care.
Oh, well, I think it's cool. If it's a book I can't get to, I'd love for somebody to read it to me.
Yeah, I mean, I just get a kick out of even the ads and stuff. Like anything older than 50 years, it's kind of interesting to see what strains were around and what color patterns and all that stuff. So.
Mr. Rogers.
70s THF magazine.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing those magazines when you're like 15 years of age.
Wait, what?
The old articles of the 70s I saw at the age of 15.
Oh.
So he
I
saw
was
when they first came out.
Cardinals from 4 pH to 8 pH, which took months.
Wow.
He said, wow, he's out. Hey, can y'all hear me better now?
You're good.
Hell
I think y'all
no.
can hear me. Yes, you can. Y'all can hear me, but I don't think chat can hear me very well. I don't know why.
No, we can hear you. You're just really muffled.
Hear you, your volume is really low.
I don't
Is
know
there
how
a
to
way of
turn it up.
raising your volume?
No,
Oh, God.
not that I know of. I mean,
There's
I can
no
raise
way
it
of adjusting.
there, but
There's no way of like adjusting your mic volume. Like
no, I
that
just
app,
plug it
that
in.
mic doesn't have like a separate like program that runs it from the computer that you can adjust the
Go
settings.
into mic and boost your level off of your sound card. It seems as though you've got a passive microphone, which means you would have to boost it like I do mine.
And I'd have to do that as soon as I plug it in. Because when it asks me,
There
like
is settings where you boost and in your old Windows where it says microphone and it says level, you can boost it up there as it comes into the computer. A lot of these microphones should actually be mixed through a mixing board.
that
It's
have
how
a
it should be.
freaking volume button on them. I
Yeah.
mean, make it easy. You've got to make it difficult. Let me see if I can do this without dropping anything.
I wouldn't do it now.
Oh, okay.
Like I have mine so far boosted up that if I record mine, it's got noise on it because of my weak voice through COPD and cancer. You couldn't even hear me speak into this.
So you have to do it when you plug your mic in. You have to do it with that.
Yes, because there's no other way. There's no mixing board to boost the volume from the mic into the computer. So it's all inside the computer. And so therefore it would be in your sound card adjustments. And if you don't have a sound card, it only allows you so much headroom when you go up all the way. And it turns, if I was to record it, it turns into noise. So what I have to do is when I'm doing a video with my audio, with me talking, I have to take out all of that noise.
The background noise.
I'm not talking background noise. I'm talking hiss.
Oh. Pretty snake.
Yeah, this is if you'll come.
I like
You
the
already wrapped around your
black
neck.
albinos.
Ugh.
I like the black albinos.
Ooh.
This is Orange Dream Inchy, high orange.
I like it until you show its head. I don't know. I can deal with it until I see its head.
He's my big booger. I just wish he
Yes,
would
you live
breathe.
on a farm. I'm pretty sure you encounter snakes on
I
the
do.
daily.
No, not daily.
Why are you
no,
so
no.
Not on a
scared?
daily, but when her and Joe find them, I usually get a picture. What's this?
Yeah. I did have just a chicken snake female that lives in my barn, and she's been back every year. I think we've only seen her once this year, but I don't see many poisonous snakes. Mainly just rat snakes, chicken snakes, like that, and grass
Unlike
snakes.
Thailand.
I don't see, and even in landscaping, I don't see a lot of snakes. Maybe I'm
You
just
learn a
not paying
lot about
attention.
venomous snakes when you study Thailand. You know that the king cobra is completely different than any other cobra snake on our planet. It belongs to its own genus, and it actually hunts the other poisonous snakes.
Which one?
The king cobra.
I thought the king snake, our king snake, does that too.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
But the king cobra goes out and hunts all the other poisonous snakes in Thailand. That's how come they go, oh, that's a good luck charm. Don't harass my king cobra snake.
Wow.
Because he won't bother you as long as you don't bother it. There's other snakes there, like the spitting cobra that is very aggressive.
Spitting cobra, monocle cobra. They
Yeah.
also have several species of Russell's viper that are all highly aggressive.
Yeah, so they're going, oh, don't bother our king snake. He's here to protect us.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
So I wish my phone battery wasn't dead because my super red finally came out.
I saw a golden tree
Just
viper eat a monitor lizard that was the same size.
good morning, biggies. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, John. Joe said you're making him nervous.
So,
And
what
then
was
Fred
your
said,
field in genetics in, John? Snakes or what?
Herpetology.
Okay.
"What is
I
herpetology?"
got into a lot of ichthyology stuff too, but I mainly focused in herpetology.
What is
Okay.
that?
Herpetologists, they
Reptiles.
study reptiles
Okay.
Yes.
and stuff.
One of my mentors who started the American Live Bearer Association had her her doctorate in botany genetics, which is
Interesting.
plants. And,
Yeah.
and her and my mother got along great, right? Meanwhile, she's coming over to see me about my angelfish and hang out with me because I was Jendra's assistant. And there's my mother going, she has a degree in botany. She has to see my African violets. So about 90% of the time was those two ladies talking about genetics of African violets. No fish, just African violets. Meanwhile, she's like the founder of the American Livebearer Association.
So she's talking about plants, but she was over the guppy or Livebearer Association.
Yes.
So she could have been talking about genetics for them instead of for the plant.
Her big thing was she was the founding director of the American Livebearer Association, Dr. Joanne Norton.
Huh.
But her degree was in botany, and she taught botany. She understood genetics of fish, but
right.
Her degree was in botany.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it all kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, to a
degree.
To a degree, it all goes hand in hand.
Right. Now you got to have plants. You got to have wildlife. So
I will say this: you would think plant genetics would be a lot more simple than animal genetics, but it's far from true.
No, it's diversified. You look at plants and you look at all the natural, like you look at just the bacteria of how plants deal with bacteria alone.
Oh, yeah.
Pine, Malacca leaves, and cedar leaves all contain an natural antiseptic in our world.
Natural antibacterials, and then the cypress carries more antifungal agents than any other plant out there.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the only tree that doesn't really rot.
Chemicals. Why can't we start beginning to look at extracts like they did with Melafix? That's Malacca leaves. Rather than pouring a whole bunch of chemicals into our waterways.
You're asking the wrong group on that one.
I know. No, but it's every person. It's not just the hobbyist. It's every person. Natives used to chew pine needles for toothache.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
You can actually, if you're in the wild, you can actually steep pine needles, steep them into tea. If you're coming down with even a viral cold, it'll shorten the life of a viral cold.
Yeah.
It tastes like ass. Don't get me wrong. It tastes horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does a good job.
So does those chemicals. If you've ever, I have seizures. I'm not epileptic. So the drugs don't work on me. I've tasted every one of them. I would rather chew on pine needles.
John Cox says many herbs are antibacterial. Unless they got something growing on them that ain't supposed to be.
And when you're dipping down into the 4 pH area, no antibiotic, no chemical antibiotic works. Plants work.
The plants will work at a pH of 4, but
yes.
Oh yeah.
Why? Just don't.
Because they're a natural body. They're not like a chemical that has been set by a buffering agent.
Let's say the chemicals are usually set up by something that's going to buffer them, and to neutralize them, you usually have to use an acid.
Yeah.
So more chemicals are diluted in acid than anything else because it's easier to do chemically is to dilute it in an acid compared to a base or anything else. And so
Wow.
you drop the pH and the chemical loses its effectiveness. It breaks down.
And so they
My
use
grandfather threw away all my brine shrimp.
what does copper do to our waterways?
Destroys the invertebrates.
Yeah.
You just said your grandfather killed your brine shrimp?
And then
Yeah, he threw away all my brine shrimp that I had sitting in the fridge to go get to feed my fish today because it was going to be the second feeding. You know what I mean? I hatch enough to where I can use it at least 2 or 3 times. You know, and I guess he decided to clean out the refrigerator today. So I got to open the fridge to go grab my brine shrimp out to come feed my fish, and it's not in there. So I'm like. And I remember I woke up this morning and he had everything from the refrigerator pulled out on the counter, and I wasn't really thinking. I mean, I really can't get mad at him because he didn't know what it was. But like, come on, man! It's got a pipette sticking out of it. Like, he threw the whole pipette, the brine. He just threw it all away. Everything, just threw it away.
Look at the bright side. Your fridge is clean.
But I have no baby brine shrimp to feed my fish this morning. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No, you can crush some flake up.
Yep, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I just pulled this off of my mic. Can y'all hear me any better?
no,
No.
it's got nothing to do with your windscreen.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do.
That's the
Jess broke the internet again.
on the microphone.
Good job, Jess.
Well, Joe just sent me a text saying, "Is it over?" He said because the video started playing over again. I was like, "No, we're still live. I don't think I hit a button."
What up, Ian?
And he's asking me again how to
Product
change
Conquest,
the icon.
John Cox.
You have to do it on the computer.
Muppet.
I'm glad that
Fred.
that Chewy and that you got to come up with John. John was asking about you the other day in chat, asking about you. So I'm glad that y'all got to, I guess, meet, sort of.
Yeah, I would like to have a conversation with you, Chewy, about
Mine is through education of the other people. There is somewhat of a difference.
What's the difference?
He has a degree.
Uh-huh.
I don't. I go off of the information of others and to see who it's backed up by. Okay?
Right.
Okay? He's got years of study in genetics and snakes.
Right.
If there are a few people that I would reach out to learn about snake genetics, John and Aquaball would be those people.
Right. Yeah, I need to get Aquaballs to meet John as well. They talk about snakes for hours.
Yeah. Like they should have an interview sort of like show all to themselves.
Right.
Whereas my interest comes from knowing the people that have studied it and listening, reading, asking questions, and then understanding it all.
Right. Pretty fish.
she needs a boyfriend.
But I do know my simple genetics of like albinism and that kind of stuff. And I do know how to read genetics because I have been taught in guppies.
Right. I was talking to John
What are we
yesterday when
looking
he was
at?
here at the house, and I told him I want to find something
God bless you,
that
Chewy.
I want to find something that a picture that you can actually look at that shows you the different layers and the different layers within the layers of the guppies. So it's visual instead of having to try to not so much figure it out in your brain, but figure it out in your brain. That way you can see it and then kind of put two and two together.
Well, basically, when it comes to body type of genetics, as in coloration, okay, I'm not going to get into body shape, okay?
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm talking about body colorations.
Yeah.
There's basically four principles of general. There's gray bodied, there's gold bodied, there's blind bodied, and then there's albino bodied, turning gray to basically white.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. When it comes to other types of scaling over top, that is a development called metal scaling. And that is the scaling that gives it more of an iridescent shine or a metallic shine. And those are cover over top of those original body types.
Correct. And from what I understand, it's those are eratophore cells,
Yeah.
eratophore colored cells,
Yeah.
and their coloration determined is excuse me, their coloration is typically determined by the directionality of the crystalline structure in their cell forms.
Exactly.
So if
Now,
it, whichever direction that crystal grows and comes through to is what causes the different iridescent or metallic pigmentation look. But it's actually what you're seeing is the base color underneath the crystalline structure on top of the scale.
now when that crystalline coloration that he's talking about, okay, is disrupted by the magenta gene, it actually bends the color.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Chewy, is what is the magenta gene, is it a different direction? Is it a gene that changes the crystal direction completely, or is it disrupt as
It disrupts it. The only one that it completely disrupts totally is the color yellow.
what is it? What does the magenta gene do to the color yellow?
As the fish grows older, the yellow turns into orange and then into a light shade of red.
Like where the gene gets its name, like a magenta.
Yes.
So if you took the magenta gene and cross it to like a 24 karat gold line,
Or let's take for an example a yellow leopard with black dots. Okay, it's got black dots on its tail.
yeah.
Okay, the black dots will remain. The yellow will gradually go into orangish and then into red. As
Like a pinkish red.
So it's age relative as well.
Okay.
Okay. When fish are sold, okay, you might not know that the magenta gene is there, but I can tell because I know what it does to yellow. So if red always carries sort of a yellow pigment,
yeah,
in a fish. So if I see any kind of sign of it bending yellow, I know what it is. And that's how come I knew by seeing it under that certain light that redfish, bluefish had, that the magenta gene was there.
What size tank is
I
that?
also knew because I also saw pictures of that type of fish 12 years ago being part of the cross between the Hawaiian Moscow and Philip Shadow Silverado, which is like a full-blooded magenta gene fish that I got her to show on the stream that I was on earlier.
Yeah.
It's recognized. A hobbyist recognizes it through his eyesight. A geneticist recognizes it through the paperwork that he's done. If that makes sense to anybody.
No, that makes perfect sense.
What was the
And
name of
the
that?
magenta gene also plays around with tail shapes and all sorts of things, and that's how come the female is important.
So the magenta gene not only changes color, it's a complete modifying gene. It does a lot to other things.
Modifying gene is what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similar to like yellow belly or whatever in pythons.
And the caudal fin is the roughest thing to do with the magenta gene. Because it affects their tail shape. And hence you find various different types of other finish genes that really do not express that, but it's hidden. It's a hidden gene.
Hidden gene. So kind of like hidden gene Woma and all that stuff. Is it dominant, recessive, codominant, incomplete dominant? What is it? Or do you know?
In certain lines, it's dominant, and in certain lines, it does not express.
So it carries through but doesn't express?
Yes.
It doesn't express color, or it doesn't express in fin shape?
It does not express the color.
But it will modify the shapes of the fins?
Yes, to a degree.
Okay. Sorry, Jess, you probably see my brain turning, don't you?
Do you see my brain turning? Except
Pink-
yours is turning
Pink
a lot
was
faster than mine
the
because you understand the
The
science.
guppy pink was actually, when it first came out, nobody knew how it got developed. Actually, it was the hidden gene in two strains that made the pink guppy, but they couldn't figure it out back then. If you see pink guppies, like pingus and pinks, that's based off of a magenta gene turning red to pink. And I know the beautiful pink grass guppy with a high dorsal over in Thailand.
Ooh, I want that one.
Well, I gave you the name of the breeder.
I know. I'm gonna do it.
Like, my attitude towards guppies is you have to have fun, no matter if it's like your first pair of guppies that are basically breeding true, but not up to IFGA standards. My first set of guppies bred true, but they wouldn't pass IFGA standards, no way. Because the whole tail had to be yellow. It would get disqualified.
Huh.
Because of the standards that are set by certain organizations.
Hey, Lee said it good. He said true AC, it's aquatic conquest. He said can detect it, but cannot see it. Like how magnets work at its basic form. Like you know it's there, you just can't see it.
Yeah. Like every gene is possible in those 23 chromosomes. This is what makes guppy breeding so interesting, is that they have got the same chromosome patterns, okay, as humans. They're the only one on this planet that share that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
You can attribute that to their they mutate really quickly. The gene colors and everything else can mutate very quickly, just like human genetics. I mean, look how diverse the human genome is by how we all look different.
Mhm.
You know, we're all the same, but we all look completely different.
Mhm.
It's very, very similar on a genetic level, the way the mutations form.
It's just that genetics express themselves differently.
Yeah,
And yes, okay, let's look at it from the point of view of race in humanity. Certain genes you cannot get rid of once
correct.
bred in. So this is why you want to isolate virgin females. And this is why there are two standards of breeding guppies. The isolation of one male and one female, or the colony breeding of an orgy.
And you said colony breeding doesn't work?
I don't like the factors of colony breeding because you're dealing with everything under the sun.
Aquatic
You're
conquest.
dealing with
Yes,
the recessive
I'm good.
gene that might show up in a certain strain, and then
Thank
all of a
you.
sudden that gets spread into the colony.
Lee said something profound. We have more genetic commodity with bananas than we do a horse, but we're still related.
And yes, we all, even the human race, has got hidden genes because a lot of us date back to the same ancestry. It is due to the fact that our environment also changes us.
A
Look at the
banana
difference
shares
between a human being
6%
race
DNA.
in Africa and a race up in northern Canada.
Fact check what aquatic conquest? Which one? So I'm worried that I'm not gonna be able to get those guppies before he runs out when he opens his store. Unless I can get Alex to run up there and get some for me and then ship them to me.
Send him an email. Send him money.
Yeah, I'll call him. I got his phone number. Well, I've got Alex's phone number, not Redfish, Bluefish. Hashtag the horse and the banana. Oh. I don't know. That's Lee's thing.
And the best way of finding out the genetics of any fish is talk to the breeder. He's the one that developed the strain or knows the history of the strain. And that's what has guided me throughout all of my knowledge ever since I was like 18 years of age. Know the breeder of the fish, especially if you're dealing with domestic strains. It's not so important with wild type fish, but it is important with guppies, bettas, goldfish, koi, those type of animals that have been bred into the ornamental side of the hobby.
Huh.
Because when I came to the factors of looking for pastels, pastels do not show very well in hard water. They are more of a softer water fish because they were developed more in softer water. They were developed in Germany by the Germans, who have got a lot softer water than us. So when I was on my pledge of looking for guppies, like about 14 years ago, I was looking for pastels because I lived in a softer water community. All of the harder water community guys go, no, we can't keep that fish because it does not do well in our water. And this is why I learned things from the IFGA breeders.
What
They
does
go,
the hard water do to them?
it affects their coloration for show. IFGA standards are all based around show. They're not based around genetics. They're more based around their standards and their shows. So when a strain of guppy does not do very well, okay, let's look at green, shall we?
Okay.
If green is kept in hard water, it looks green. If it's kept in softer water, it looks like turquoise.
Say it turns more blue.
Yes.
John, is that why my pastels look more pink?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have hard water.
I mean, they do really well, but they look more pink, whereas I have seen, like, LRBs, his have a yellow and a blue.
Yes.
Yeah, ours are that way because of the hard water.
And imagine that pastel with that yellow being crossed with a magenta. All of a sudden, that yellow shade is going to turn orangish, and then as the fish gets older, it will get red.
And in our water, it'll get, the way we are here, Jess, that red will turn out a lot faster than what he's talking.
Yeah.
It'll go. I mean, you're not going to have an 8-month-old fish for have a red tail, or a 9-month-old fish. You're looking at 2 to 3 months, and that tail's probably going to be like pink red, like a real. It'll be bright. It'll be pretty, but like I told you the other day, half black pastels aren't selling, and if you're doing this to make money, you've got to go with what sells.
Right. And I'm doing it for both. Well, we have our projects, and then we have the ones for sale.
I got one project of yours I'm playing with.
I know.
I'm gonna keep that one quiet.
Yeah. Well, okay. So does hard water have something to do with why it takes the dragons so long to get their color up in our hard water?
No, that's in the genetics.
That's a genetic deal. Dragons take a long time to color up. Yeah. So from what I've read and what I've studied, no matter where they are, something about the dragon gene, they reach maturity coloration-wise a whole lot later.
Oh, okay.
So,
but even the cross that Jesse made, okay, I know the cross that Jesse made, and I was not shocked by it.
Uh-huh.
Black is a very, very dominant gene. So when he crossed his magenta over to the Japanese blue, I knew that blue was going to get covered. I knew that the yellow was going to get covered by the red of the magenta. The yellow will begin to show up, though, in probably about the 3rd generation.
Huh.
Because you're dealing with recessive and dominant genes when you do a cross. Like I crossed a red saddleback female to this was my experiment, to the tequila sunrise.
Uh-huh.
About 1% of it was Japanese blue. What did that tell me? The Japanese blue came out of the tequila sunrise. The saddleback red is an American strain.
Huh. Hey, Aquatic Conquest said he wants to know if you had to give advice on what type of fish would be a good starter for someone wanting to try their hand in this, what would it be?
In the tropical fish hobby or in
Think guppies. Which type of guppy, I think, is what he's saying.
Endlers. I'm gonna say endlers.
no, I would not go enders. I would
Yeah,
say a red guppy,
a solid red.
a solid red, because you're dealing with just one genetic. And maintaining one genetic is hard enough when you're a beginner.
Okay.
I would concur with that. I would agree with that. Definitely a solid red would probably, if you're just going to start learning to play with genetics and learning to see what,
He said tropical fish in general, but for the color breeding.
Color breeding, I would say a red guppy, or even a red platy, or
Any live bear.
any of your live bears. If you're going to start
Except
breeding,
for mollies. I would stay away from mollies.
Mollies can go haywire real quick. But Endlers, I would stick with the guppy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got white crosses and starburst blues.
Completely wild. I would go wild Endler, and then you'll see the genetic display of the wild type Endler, which is green and red dots and all sorts of things.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would not go to a fancy type of Endler because you're dealing with also guppy genetics because of the fact of K Endlers.
Right.
And a lot of your Endlers on the market are K Endlers, not wild.
Yeah, but I say most of your Endlers now are actually crossed over with guppies and then back to Endlers, and they're not true. They're not in grade true Endlers.
The true Endlers is endangered. I had the true Endlers when I kept fish in the banks.
Say I kept true Endlers before they were. I mean, I kept Endlers for when I was breeding African cichlids. I kept Endlers in a big tub in my basement for food. They were feeders. But
I kept Jack Dempsey's for food for my guppies.
You sure it wasn't the opposite way there?
No. Jack Dempsey's in the 70s in Alberta, everybody had them. Not everybody had IFGA standard guppies.
Yeah.
So Aquatic Conquest said, so a pink guppy, a good place to start. No, a red guppy.
A red guppy, not
red.
pink.
Not pink, red. Solid red. Black-eyed, not red-eyed, not albino.
Actually, a gray-bodied red would be the best.
Yeah. It's standard.
Dealing with the tail and the finish being red. Gray being dominant, there's no chance of losing the pigment of red throughout the body. This is what happens when you breed so many reds together for like 7 generations. You begin to lose the full red coloration of the body.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, ladies. Are you leaving Aquatic Conquest, or are you just saying thank you? Well, I mean, It's so interesting to me. I just
Now, Aquatic
I
Conquest,
can't.
are they still there in chat, or did they leave?
I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
he's still there.
He's still there. If he's just looking at starting just a beginner's tropical tank, just like a tropical community tank, almost all of your tetras are a great place to start to learn. If you're just trying to learn to get water parameters right, and researching who has slightly different parameters than who else, keeping tetras is also a nice way to go, I
It
think.
would also depend upon the species of tetra.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not saying
Their water parameters. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing more difficult than keeping cardinal tetras in 8.4 pH.
no, that's almost impossible.
But now you can understand what I had to deal with when I worked in the wholesale industry in Calgary, Alberta. Adapting fish from 4 to 8 pH is not an easy task by any means.
No, you're probably looking at a more than 75% death rate.
Not all fish can live in that high of pH and that kind of TDS. Guppies, especially reds and blues, do very well in that kind of pH.
Ian says, "What do you think will come out of when trying to cross them with tiger endlers with koi tuxedo guppies? Just trying something to do with some color culls and last endlers that survived." I'm not real sure what you're saying. Are you wanting to know what you'll get out of tiger endlers and koi tuxedo guppies?
The body of the tuxedo, if it's black, would be dominant over all of the other color patterns, unless a metallic scale is involved.
And then he says, well, that was Ian. Well, I don't know. He says Aquatic Conquest is looking for a fish that fits into his environment, not the other way around.
Well, what environment do you have, Aquatic Quest?
He said no
Yeah,
offense.
what's your pH, TDS, and everything else?
But once you start chasing pH, game's over. Yeah, what's your pH? Oh, and Lee wants to know if it's true if you can cross mollies and platies, crossbreed them.
No.
I've never seen mollies and platies crossbreed, but I've seen swordtails and platies crossbreed.
They are totally a different genus.
Yeah.
Poecilia versus Zephorphorus.
He said steady at 7.6.
What part of the country are you in? Are you U.S. based or?
We just wait. UK.
Okay, can I ask another question?
Sure.
Does he know the actual pH of his waterway in comparison to what he is doing out of the tap? What water chemistry companies do, like the water suppliers, they can buffer up and they can buffer down.
If he's staying at a steady 7.6 and he wants something to fit into his steady 7.6, are you 7.6 year round, or are you swinging? I think what he's trying to say is, different water companies during different temperatures and weather events, they change what they put in the water.
Or or in the case of what happened to a friend of mine, they don't put in the buffer and then it goes down to 6 and then it's back at 7.8 because they put in the buffering material.
Yeah.
But that's not so bad of a swing to hurt something, is it?
Yes, it is. A drop to 6.0 can kill African cichlids.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 7.6 to 7.8.
Between 7.6 and 7.8, that's nothing.
Yeah, okay. Lee says Father Fish tells him not to test his water because it'll send him over the edge. He's not stable, so he's not allowed to worry about his water. Lee, you're something else. I see. Organic soil, potting grit, sand bed. Tanks, 8 months, fully stocked. Yes, year round. I don't have a clue what you're saying. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, guppies, I would say, would be perfect in that.
Yeah, guppies would probably be your best bet.
Right. Okay, his pH dropped to 6 out the tap. The guppy started to struggle, but crushed coral seems to be helping with keeping stable for them. By the time he gives the answer, we've already moved on. Oh, I'm sorry. So it drops from 7.6 to 6.
Yep. That's what Bob Taylor has gone through from
That's
Taylor's Aquatics.
big
His
time
show is
bad.
died because of that.
So what do you do without? Okay, so now, okay, I understand what he's saying now. So what could he have that in that would be able to tolerate that type of swing?
Tetras.
Tetras. Any type of tetra?
Stay away from cardinals. I would suggest perhaps more like lemon, like their true lemon, the original lemon tetra, not the lemon tetra that what's his name, Alex had, but the original lemon tetra, it's got yellow fins. It can withstand drops, but it's the sudden drop that kills fish. You got 8, let's take for an example, you got 7.6 water and you're adding 6 to it, 6 pH. That water is going to drop depending upon how much water is changed.
Wow.
And when you're chasing pH, it's not you that is necessarily chasing the pH. It is your water company that's chasing the pH in that particular case.
Can he call the water company?
Yes.
Would it do any good?
Yes. And he can ask for a printout monthly sent out to his email. At least you can in Canada.
Huh.
You can ask for what they add during the month. It's whether or not they're going to advise you that they're going to add ammonia on a certain date or not. That is in question. Because that happens too.
Like they've already changed it, but you're not going to know about it until you get that paperwork later.
Exactly.
Right.
And hence, this is why when we brought in fish from South America from low pH water, we would prepare our water down to 6.0 for fish that are coming out of 4.0 water to reduce the number of fish that would die at 8.0. Keeping cardinals at 8.0 and above is very difficult to do. You have to do massive water changes.
Or why wouldn't you just do less water changes?
Because the water is more dirty, it contains more bad bacteria. And fish such as tetras have got different scaling due to the fact that they've been in rainforests than your higher pH, high TDS fish. So they're more sensitive. You can actually destroy the reproductive system of a cardinal tetra if you keep them at 8.0 for too long. Makes them go sterile. And you can kill African cichlids if it drops to 6.0. I've seen it happen.
Wow.
I see the difference between, okay, Vancouver has water around 7.0. Calgary has got water around 8.4 at the highest point. The difference in African cichlids is amazing, even if you add all of the buffering agents that are out there. Because it's not natural buffering. Like, not a lot of people know that there's salinity in Lake Malawi. Study the water where the fish comes from. This was a big point about Dan's fish. He was going, if you don't get enough information about the fish, you can get the information about where the fish lives. You can get their waterway. You can get the idea of other fish that inhabit that waterway.
This rain is horrible.
And you're standing in the rain.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to show you this big river that it made. Look at this river that my rain made. It's right in
and I'm sure
my
that
yard.
John agree with that sentiment. Water chemistry is so important to fish.
But I understood it that just guppies in general, that they've been bred to be raised in tanks so much now that they wouldn't even know.
Shit, what are you doing?
They wouldn't even know.
Working. Yeah.
They wouldn't even know what their natural environment is.
Let's just say that once a fish's body has become adapted to any kind of source, like how discus has been manipulated to live in harder water, it's going to be harder to put them back into soft water.
Yeah. That's like a lot of times, like Jess, like sometimes we'll get fish in or you'll get something in and it's been raised in a softer, different type of water. And you might get babies, they might come to you already pregnant and they drop their first ones. That second round in your water is twice as hardy because it was born in your water to your water chemistry. So it comes out and as it grows, it adapts to it better than its parents did because they couldn't readapt to the water condition.
And so we have adopted discus for at least 50 years for the
Oh yeah, you can buy discus.
side of it.
You can buy discus that'll live at an 8.0,
Yeah.
which is. I
Lee
mean,
is
when I
funny.
started trying to keep discus 20 years ago, it's like, you better get your pH to 5.6 or it's not going to survive.
Yeah,
And now you can buy with
6.0
8.0.
is the point. 6.0 is the point. So there is my mentor from the wholesaler that I worked at going, take home
All
those
right, I
cards,
gotta go.
carry if
Later,
it's
Jess.
costing
Later,
me
everybody. Thanks for having me
this
on.
Bye,
amount
Kev.
of money. You're taking home those cardinals to learn how to keep discus before I sell you any heckle discus.
But what I was saying is, you were saying to, about the waterways and to check your, to research the water that the fish came out of. But if they've been bred to your water, what would that?
You have to know where your source of your fish is. If what are you
Exactly.
getting? Are you getting a wild caught fish? Are you getting something that's been collected in the wild? Or are you getting tank raised?
Okay.
And if you're getting tank raised, you should be adapting your water to that breeder's parameters.
Okay, I get. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
But why do we have rights as humans to adapt fish to their unnatural environment? That is my big question.
Because we have to, if we want to keep them.
I don't think that you should keep them.
Fish?
I don't think that you should be keeping discus to adapt to some alien environment that they're not used to.
But if they've been adapted to it, doesn't
Especially
that
with the world's waterways getting softer. And that's a fact. And that was the point being brought up by a well-known biologist. He goes, what are you going to do if you want to put back the hardwater discus? Are you going to adapt African cichlids to the point where they're dying? This is his argument, okay?
Right.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Well, I mean, we could have good discussion.
I'm on all sides of the discussion because I understand how humanity is with the ornamental trade of fish.
Let's say not just the ornamental trade of fish, it's the selective breeding process of everything we've ever attempted to domesticate.
Exactly.
We have changed it from its original environment to fit wherever we're going to take it, whatever we are going to do with it. We bend it to our will to succumb to what we want it to do. We're not breeding it and we're not making it so we can re-release it into the wild. We're breeding it and we're making it for the sole purpose that we want to look at it and we want to keep it and we want to make it pretty to us.
So Father Fish decided that he wanted it on this conversation. Good morning, Father Fish.
Hi there. Is this Chewbacca spouting all this nonsense?
Yeah.
And why can I not see his face?
Because my camera does not work.
Your camera doesn't work. I don't think your brain does either.
No.
Oh, that's a hard hit.
Ooh.
That's a nice shot, Father.
Well, it's the best I got right now, but it'll get better.
Okay, let's hear your side of the argument. When waterways, the pH of our world are dropping.
My side of the argument, I have a video called Return to Eden that explains it all very clearly. Watch the video and then say something about that. You clearly do not have anything other than an extremist's notion of what this hobby is all about. and as such, your opinion is completely irrelevant.
I'm stating a fact of what other biologists have said.
I don't believe one word of it. Not one word. I know lots of biologists, and they would spurn what you're saying like it was vomit, because that's what it is. It's vomit.
Really. That's why Dr. Marliev did a talk on the lowering of pH in our waterways. Really.
We're not talking about that. You're changing the subject.
That was what the topic was about.
The topic is about keeping fish in home aquariums.
Yeah, that's what I was on too.
Yeah, well, the topic of that is we are adapting them to our own water. What it does,
it's been going on. That has been going on for 500 years.
Yes, I will agree to that.
Right.
I will agree to that. But meanwhile, science
fish that are totally dependent upon living in the habitation that people maintain for them, okay? Because we are as much a part of the nature system as any other animal. It is our right and priority and prerogative to do so. If you choose not to be part of the human community, then I suggest you put yourself down.
After our millions of species that are now endangered?
No, that's not true. That is a lie. That is a lie. There are not a million species. That is a lie. You're a liar and a fraud and an extremist, and you have no right to be here or anywhere else. You can't even shut up long enough to listen to anything that disagrees with you.
I'm just stating a fact.
You're stating a lie. A lie.
Really, I'm stating the fact that the world's pH waterways is dropping. That's a scientific fact.
That is nonsense.
It is a fact.
It is nonsense.
It has been proven in the water.
You are full of nonsense.
Yeah, you're full of nonsense too.
I'm gonna have to agree with Father Fish on this one. I'm not seeing anything where our waterways across the entire planet are dropping pH anywhere. I mean, we are tearing up the waterways in a lot of areas due to human interaction, but not. I mean, the original conversation on this one was the keeping of aquarium fish and how we bend them to our will to match our water conditions where we live over generations of tank-raised breeding, which we have to inbreed, line breed, whatever you want to call it. And the next generation is more adapted to our waterway for our pleasure in keeping them. That's it.
Precisely.
Yeah,
and if you consider that immoral, you're in the wrong conversation.
No, I never said that. I stated the fact that the waterways, due to all of the ice that are melting off of our glaciers, are not picking up the same amount of sediments that are feeding our oceans.
Do you know how many waterways actually have glacier ice going into them?
Several.
Two Russia, or three.
Canada.
Two or three.
Several. Hundreds of thousands of them across the planet.
It's utter nonsense.
No, look at your own glaciers. Look at what pine needles will eventually do. Our pine needles.
Chewbacca, I don't know who you're listening to, who you're paying attention to.
I listen to real biologists that are like Dr. Marliev, that has got an exact speech dealing with this on YouTube.
He is a twit.
Yeah, really? He's bred more marine fish than you have.
He is a twit. I don't
He
care
has
what his
more
credentials are.
marine fish than you have, Father.
Doesn't make a bit of difference.
Sure it does. He's the
No, it
one that
doesn't.
studied the water chemistry. It's just like the guy
Credentials.
you had on your show pointing out the use of copper in hatching eggs in low pH.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, I know you love that.
So there you go. So
Yes,
you've got an act.
and we all
You have
know
an
what
act-
antibiotics have done.
You
Science
you
has
have an
pointed
act.
that
Why
out
don't
for
you
a
shut
while.
up and let somebody else talk? You have an axe to grind. That's very
You've got
obvious.
an attitude, man.
You're the
Really?
one with the attitude.
No,
and it's-
you're the one with the attitude.
You bet I do. You bet I do.
I know you have an
You bet
attitude.
I got an attitude.
I know
And
you
my
have.
attitude is what you're saying is not only wrong, it's dangerous and it's destructive.
Really, you've got a president that does not even recognize global warming or climate change.
Neither
Really?
do I.
I
Neither
don't
do
either.
I.
Sure, but you don't.
Neither do I.
Exactly.
I don't
Right.
agree with global warming or climate change. The way the climate changes naturally. I mean, I
That's
sit there
right.
and I'm not gonna lie. I was 3 years ago. I was watching Investigation Discovery, and
Here are not caused by fucking oil.
Chewbacca, you're not worth listening to. Jesse, I'm sorry to do this to you. This guy is a
Next
fool
conversation.
and an ass.
Yeah, you're
And
the
I'm not going to
fool.
continue talking to a fool and an ass. Please,
You're a
cut
fool.
me off. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aquatic Conquest says climate change models don't include the sun.
No, there's a lot of climate change models that don't include a lot of variables because there's way too many of them to calculate.
Hey, hey, Kenny. Ah,
What's going on, boys?
how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's
Jess, you look like you
Yeah.
need a refill on your coffee.
I'm speechless. Need a cigarette.
I might need one too after that conversation.
Sorry to do this to you, Jess. I know you're a sweet young thing that can't stand this, any kind of violence. And that did get pretty violent.
It got heated, but yeah, I don't agree with a lot of it, but yeah.
Kenny,
What do we got? Some
how are
testosterone
you
flying
feeling?
this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
there
feeling
was
a
a
lot
little bit.
better. I'm back to myself there, Father Fish.
bravo, bravo. Yeah, me too. I'll tell you, I am at the point where I'm not going to take any of this Marxist crap anymore. I'm just not going to do it. And if they don't see it for what it is, that's not my fault.
Do you see the glaciers disappearing, Father?
No, they are not, in fact, disappearing. Fool.
Yeah, really. They haven't melted over 2 miles in 60 years.
I know, isn't
Yeah,
that true?
the Antarctic end of the ice sheet hasn't grown 2 miles over the last 60 years.
Precisely.
So we just went from one end of the planet to the other on the similar ice sheet because the actual true magnetic north has moved quite a bit over the last 60 years, which is actually common and not abnormal for the history of the Earth.
However, without glacier, you won't have very much fresh water.
Chewbacca is a true believer. There's no way to change his mind. There's no way to get any kind of truth into his brain. He simply needs to not be agreed with and to not be allowed to dominate conversations.
All I know is what I see. I've seen what oil has done to the native communities around the
Go
world.
for everybody else and not listening. which is exactly what he's doing right now. He's
Oh,
trying not to listen by talking over everybody else. So why don't you learn,
what I've
shut up,
seen.
Rebecca, and use your ears instead of your mouth. That's why you got 2 of these and 1 of these.
Okay, gentlemen, let's agree to disagree.
Exactly.
Not going to do it. I do not agree to disagree.
I
I do not agree that that opinion deserves any hearing at all, because it is fundamentally malicious and destructive. It is fundamentally destructive of a free people living in a free nation.
Articles come out of 4.0. They don't come out of 8.0.
Unadulterated Marxism, and it has no place in this country. No place at all. I defy it. I deny it. I reject it out of hand.
Thank God I'm not in your country.
I wish you were.
I wish I was.
I wish you were, so I could help get your brain straight. Because you are a
I have got my own powers of thinking.
You are a lost Father. You're buying.
And science will overrule the factors involved.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Aquatic Conquest wants to know if the sun melts the ice.
Yep, $15.
Yes.
When you I have a 20. Can you give me $15?
Okay.
Okay.
How you doing, Jess?
Yeah. I am listening.
Have you ever been up to the Yukon or Alaska?
I have
to see how much ice has been melting off of our planet?
I have not.
And have you ever thought of how much a drop in pH would affect our marine fish?
Yeah, it happens all the time. If you look back,
it happens all the time. There are
10,000 years
of fish that are affected by that pH. If you read Dr. Barliev's report on spawning wolf eels, you would realize that.
Kenny, are those rainbows behind you?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Did you see my goiter rivers that I just got in?
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
I can't wait for them to color up a little bit more. Have you bred them? Have you bred your rainbows yet?
I have not. Danny and I are still more hobbyists than breeders. We get stuff just because we like the looks.
And I'm just learning everything.
That is a nice school of Denison barbs.
Yeah, they're large. Give you an idea.
Oh Lord, they're huge. I have 4 in my 90. I'm waiting. I've been looking for gold. I would love to add a couple of gold Denison barbs to my school to complete the at least 3 and have a school of 7.
Yeah, Dan's Fish has some nice ones right now.
Jesse, I'm sorry to slam your stream like this. Let me say goodbye.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't not come back because of this.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
See y'all later.
Much love, Father Fish.
Oh, those look great.
Yeah.
What type of rainbows do you have? Are those millenniums?
Yeah, albino, millennium, and then regular. Some of these guys are getting some size to them finally.
Oh, yeah. Jess, you see how they get that different body shape to them?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what. Eventually, mine will have that same body shape.
That looks funny.
Yeah, that's why I got them. Because they look cool.
They look deformed.
There's a regular and there's the albinos.
Yeah. They look great.
Then I have a couple of Bosemani in here too.
Let's say I saw a Bosemani. There's one.
Then these gold barbs hang with them just fine too. Yeah, there's a Bosemani.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm fixing to have to jump off. I was supposed to be at Ranchland like an hour ago.
Oh.
I gotta go get new uniforms today.
I was only gonna go an hour, but we conversation. So
Well, John, it was finally good to meet you and put a face to you. I missed you when I was down there, but
yeah. May come back through. I'll get out there.
yeah, I'm glad he came in. I'm glad everybody finally got to meet him instead of my biologist friend. Everybody think I'm just making you up.
No, I got the joy. I got to go work in Jess's fish room yesterday while my daughter was doing riding lessons with her.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully, I've got some stuff working. I got a guppy line working that I got from Jess that I saw some genes that I liked and I picked out. Hopefully, we'll get that breeding.
Right.
They'll never freaking lay. And then
unless we have sterile fish.
that would be very unfortunate, but it might be. We might have to go a different route.
Yep.
But she's got a new line of mollies that we found something new last night in her mollies. It was a gene that we weren't expecting. That I think I figured it out. Just doing a little bit of research, think I figured it out. Oh, nice.
I found Jess in here that this was the surprise that I was going to send you. I don't know where he's at right now, but I found a spare male super red bristle nose that I can send you as well with the other one.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get for John.
Yeah, but I found one in here that
I need a male.
That's what he has, is a male.
Yes, need a male, please.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's hiding in here right now, but I found him in here the other day.
That would be awesome, Kenny. Hey, should I show? Well, not right now, but I ought to do a video on those on the mollies.
Yeah, that's a color that's a pattern that I have never seen before in those mollies.
Do you think it goes back to their wild side, right?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a throwback to the wild side, and it came out. Bolivian ram?
Seen this picture, John?
Is that a Bolivian ram?
No, that is a Pistogramma Me Too D6 is what they're called.
Oh, nice. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I have to zoom in on your.
Chewy left.
I like that.
Yeah, I've got a buddy of mine that breeds them here from the wild.
Sorry, I probably look funny. So I'm zooming in on your picture.
You're fine. Lee, Ranchland is a store. It used to sell saddles and all kind of ranch clothing and buckles and boots and all that kind of stuff. But they sold that side of the store, and now they sell uniforms, and they sell a lot of the stuff that's got to do with the sheriff's department has a contract through them or something like that, and so yeah, so they have to go there and pick up their stuff. So that's what's going on with Ranchland.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up uniforms.
Yeah. So I'm going to end the stream that we'll never forget. Yeah. And I don't have enough knowledge on that to have an opinion yet. So I'm going to leave it to them. I don't want any one of them to be a stranger. So, yeah.
Well, it
Well,
was
Jess,
thanks for having me, Jess.
keep on rolling, Jess.
Yes, I am. But I will not be here tomorrow. I have to go get that dental work done. So, I won't be back until Monday on being on after Father Fish. And then me and Chubbs have our stream Monday night down the bayou. So,
I am off this Monday night.
there you go. Your own special guest. Gotcha.
Maybe I can join in for a little while.
Sure you can. It's not hard to do now that you got it.
Yeah, no, I got it. So we'll figure it out.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
and Monday night, my back tanks will be on, so we can visit the deformed turtles.
Okay, good. I have some more fish for that tank too. I found some.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So,
if you come into town today, just drop them off.
Okay. I don't
You
know
can
if I
leave
am
them
or
on
not,
the,
but
if you come in town, just drop them off on the porch.
okay. Well, if I'm coming to town and I'm gonna drop them off, if you're home, I'm grabbing some snails.
Yeah, come on in. There's tons of them.
Yes. All right, you guys. I'm out on that note. I will be listening and chat the rest of the day on, all over the place. And I will be back in live stream Monday after Father Fish. So
Much
thanks,
love,
Kenny.
Jess. Good to meet you, John.
Thanks, John.
Good to meet you too, Kenny.
See y'all later.
Later.